The tension's building up. You can kind of notice the awkwardness in the air. The prospect's thinking something. You can see it on their face, and you're kind of looking at each other and you don't know where to take the conversation. Ever been in that situation? Especially when you're just about to try and lean into the close and take payment. Ever felt those awkward moments, those moments of tension? Or perhaps have you ever had a time where you're actually working with a prospect to try and get them over the line? They get a bit upset, get a bit defensive, think you're being too pushy. It goes a little bit awkward, and then you go on the back foot and it all goes downhill. Ever had that time? Well, look, here's the thing. I want to help you with that. And in this video, I'm going to break down how you can deal with the awkwardness, how you can lean into it rather than turning away from it, which is what most people do when it comes to selling their product or their service. Now, why should you even listen to me? My name's Jason James. Over the last decade, I've taken what I used to do in psychiatric nursing, ethical persuasion techniques that we used to do over there, and brought it right here into sales. Those strategies have allowed me to generate over 22 million in sales myself, and my clients have gone on to generate over 200 million and growing using what I call the invisible sales method. And I'd love you to learn some of it right now on this video. So let's get stuck into it. Now, let's talk about awkwardness in the first place. Why are most people uncomfortable with awkwardness? Well, let's be perfectly honest. Most people have a deep-rooted issue or fear or challenge when it comes to actual confrontation. And because when things are awkward, we feel a bit weird because our body starts to send physiological signals around going, hey, this might turn into a fight, this might turn into an argument, which basically shuts us down. And it shuts off a part of our brain which we use to actually have logical thinking. And it goes into that fight or flight mode. It then sends blood down to our lower abdomen, into our legs, to prepare us in case we need to run away. So the blood that you need to circulate around your brain to help you think more logically is no longer there. And as a result of that, we end up bumbling, fumbling words, and not getting a deal over the line. Now look, as I described that, maybe you felt like that. Maybe you felt that you've had this awkwardness of a prospect. Maybe they've pushed back on you. Maybe they've tried to control the situation, which has put you on the back foot. And as a result of that, everything's just fallen apart. Well, look, before we start dealing with awkwardness and how to lean into it, we've got to lean into ourselves first. You see, in my Invisible Sales Academy, I work with my students first and foremost on their own sales mental model. What's going on in their world right now when it comes to selling? And often what you'll find is someone's sales mental model, as in how they view sales, is often linked to their own personal identity. And a lot of us, unfortunately, and this is true, and maybe you're watching this right now and you can align with what I'm saying, have issues around their own self-worth and their own identity. And because of that, it transfers into sales. And even those people who watch a motivational video before they go and do a sales call or get pumped up by their sales leader before they jump on the phone, it's temporary and it doesn't last because it's not done on a neurological level to the point where that person consciously and unconsciously aligns with that motivation. Now, if you're wondering what the hell am I talking about, I'm basically saying this. If you consciously say to yourself, I'm good enough, I deserve it, I'm worthy, but unconsciously you don't really believe it, you're going to have what's called a conscious mind, unconscious mind disconnect. Now, here's the problem with that. In order for you to get to where you want to go, you must have your conscious mind and your unconscious mind fully integrated. I want you to look at it like this. Imagine your conscious mind, which is where you consciously give yourself instructions such as, I am going to crush this sales call. I am going to be the best person on this sales call. I'm going to show up. I deserve this. When you're consciously saying that, that's your conscious mind. What you believe down below, as in your unconscious mind, is actually what really matters. And your unconscious mind is way more powerful than your conscious mind. So I want you to think of it like this. Imagine your conscious mind is a mouse, a little tiny mouse. And your unconscious mind is a massive elephant. And there's a piece of string attaching the two of them. Now, think of it like this. Who's going to win if they decide to walk in the opposite direction? The mouse or the elephant? Well, clearly the elephant decides where the hell it wants to go. That's my whole point of your unconscious mind. You can tell yourself all day long that I deserve it, I'm worthy, I'm this. But if deep down you don't really believe it, your unconscious mind is going to pull you away from that outcome. No matter how much you go this way, it's going to pull it this way. So the only way for the mouse to gain control and start heading in the right direction is for both the mouse and the elephant to be facing the same way. That basically means you can't just consciously say, I deserve it. You must unconsciously say that you deserve it too. You must believe that. And when you've got conscious mind, unconscious mind alignment and you're both facing in the right direction, guess what happens? You get the result that you're looking for. But 95% of sales professionals are going into sales conversations with conscious mind alignment, but unconscious mind disconnect. Something's bubbling under the surface on a neurological level that's stopping them from actually believing what it is that they want to go and do. And that's why most sales training, most sales leaders who are trying to pump up their teams fail. It's not because they're bad people, it's because they're not talking to people on a neurological level. You can pump someone up, get them excited all day long. They'll last about 10 minutes. You know this is true. Many of you listening to this right now, many of you watching this, I bet you've been to an event before or you've watched a motivational video before. And as soon as the video finishes, you feel on top of the world, or you've been to the event, you feel unstoppable, you feel unshakable, you feel great. It was wonderful, wonderful. I'm really happy for you. And then what happens? Less than a few hours after that interaction, it starts to wear off. The videos are even worse. Literally within 5 minutes, it starts to wear off. You're not pumped up anymore, are you? It proves my point. Because the videos and the events were just surface level. I'm trying to tell you guys, when I work with my students, we go deeper and we do it real quick, which basically means people can turn things around in 24 hours. And suddenly they got conscious mind and unconscious mind alignment, which allows them to be good with themselves. So anytime there's an awkward situation in a sales conversation or there's confrontation, they're good. And this is my whole point. If you want to learn how to influence people, you've got to learn to become more comfortable. You've got to allow yourself to be comfortable in awkward situations. And that's all I've done over the years. I've trained myself to be comfortable in awkward situations. You can put me in any room and I'll be comfortable. Right this very moment, I'm doing deals with billionaires and people who are flying at different levels to me. And I will sit in a boardroom and I'll sit in that room as if I'm the same as them because I'm comfortable with myself. I'm good. And yeah, I will go into that conversation being good with myself, which basically means for me to be comfortable, I'm okay with awkwardness. I'm okay with pushback. I'm okay with someone asking me, well, who are you and why are you here? I'm good. And you got to be good with yourself. You can't just say it. You got to feel it on an unconscious level. So that is something you need to fix before you encounter the awkwardness. So what do you do when you have awkward situations with the client? Well, here's the thing. There's something that I teach my students, and I'm going to teach it to you for free right now. It will help you when you're having any sales conversation with someone. It will help you when you're delivering a talk or a presentation on stage. It will just help you full stop when you're interacting with anyone. And the concept is very, very simple. It's basically this. They think it, you say it. What does that mean? Well, whenever you feel that the prospect is feeling something or thinking something, your goal is to lean into it and speak about the elephant in the room. What are they actually thinking about? What is it? Acknowledge the awkwardness. Acknowledge what's going on. Then when you start leaning into it and you're comfortable and you lean into that awkwardness, then everything changes. Because ultimately, if you've built enough rapport with your prospect, they start to mirror you. Think about it. When someone's upset, nervous, anxious, and there's another person with them trying to calm them down who's also nervous, anxious, and stressed out, that doesn't go down too well, does it? No, it doesn't. However, have you ever observed someone who's stressed out, anxious, nervous, whatever, and there's someone who's trying to calm them down who's actually nice, calm, collected, reassuring, comforting? What naturally starts to happen to that person? Even if no words are used, even if you just look that person in the eye, breathe, relax, look at them, hug them even. Without even using a word, they'll start to settle, they'll start to calm down. So it's the same in an awkward situation. When there's some awkwardness going on, you can tell that the prospect is thinking, I don't have the money to do this, I can't afford this, whatever it is. Rather than you become awkward too and fumble, lean into it. Lean into it. So when you drop the investment to work with you and you get that reaction from the prospect, like that, you know that how much reaction? You know that reaction I'm talking about? Don't start getting on the back foot. Stay relaxed. Stay cool. You almost want to act like, I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong? Did I did I say something wrong? That's a small investment to work with us, right? We got to lean into this awkwardness, all right? But you won't do that unless you're good with yourself. And this is why, for me, for example, when I'm teaching my students about telling people your investment or your prices, whatever you want to call it, you've got to be good with them. You've got to be willing to pay them yourself. Like, I would pay for my stuff. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I believe my stuff is too cheap. And when I'm selling to people, I'm like, are you serious, right? If anyone pushes back on me on terms of, oh, can I get a discount? Or, oh, that's really expensive or whatever it is, I'm borderline offended. I'm like, are you for real? Like, people spend time with me and make millions, and you're arguing with me over a few thousand investment for 12 weeks of working with me. Are you actually kidding me right now? That's what's going on in my head. But for most people, when they're on the back foot, they go, oh, yeah, I deserve it. I deserve the sale. But unconsciously, they don't feel worthy and they've got imposter syndrome going on. The minute someone pushes back and is awkward with them on a call or says, oh, this is too expensive, you're way more expensive than the person down the road. Suddenly, because they don't have conscious mind, unconscious mind alignment, what happens? They get on the defensive, they get on the back foot, it all falls apart. The prospect can see you, they notice your state change, you lose power, you lose control, bang, lost sale, on to the next one. Make sense? And this is where I come in, because you need to stop speaking to more people. You need to start closing more the freaking people you're already speaking to. You got to level up, man. You got to level up yourself. You got to level up your mindset. You got to level up all of these things, but you can't do it on a superficial level, which is what most people are doing. You have to learn how to speak right into the prospect. You've got to learn to speak to them at neurological levels that most people cannot access. And when you start doing that, everything changes, but the change starts with you. It starts with you. You've got to actually want to do this, because let's be perfectly honest. How much longer are you going to tolerate this? How much longer are you going to tolerate mediocre results? How much longer are you going to tolerate actually going out there and just burning more money on leads or booking more appointments with people who are just going to waste your freaking time? Look, if you're going to sit with a prospect for 45 minutes, you may as well get paid at the end of it. Now, I'm not telling you you're going to close 100% every single time, but you should be closing 80% of the people that you speak to. Why? Because if you've booked a call with me and you've got a problem that I know I can solve, and I've done everything I can to pre-qualify to make sure you are a good person to speak to, then someone's buying something up in here. Plain and simple. Because why else would you be on this call? Why else? Providing you've qualified properly. Why else would this person be on this call? This person should not be on this call if they're just lonely and looking for someone to have a chat with. Am I making sense? No, they're there because they've got a problem. They've raised their hand. They said, hey, I got a problem. It's bothering me that much. I've got some funds set aside to invest in solving this problem. It's worth X to me to get this problem solved. Then do everything you can to get them over the line. This is how you increase your chances, but you've got to be good with yourself. And that's where I come in. And look, right now, I'm putting my hand out to you, my friends. If you want the secret edge that all of my students have inside of the Invisible Sales Academy, that edge that has them use what's normally referred to as dark, powerful persuasion techniques, but used in a very ethical way that only I am able to teach. Why? Because I used to be a psychiatric nurse. There are things that I used to do that right this very moment, only people who are in secret services do. These are the kind of persuasion techniques that I'm talking about that are going to help you get more people over the line. Why? Because you're not selling crap. You've got to own your product. You've got to own yourself. You've got to own your service. So if you want to be the person who's smashing the sales right now, never worrying about the sale coming in, knowing that you can show up to a call, not having to worry about whether you're going to close them or not because someone's getting paid today, and that is you, my friend, then all I want you to do is comment sales down below. Apply to speak to me. It's a conversation that will cost you nothing. Conversations cost nothing. At the end of the day, what have you got to lose? Now, here's the thing. It's not cheap and it's not for the faint-hearted, which will probably disqualify most people watching this video. However, for the select few that know, hey, listen, I'm doing okay, I want to invest, like, Jess, let's do this, let's look at how we can work together, then come and talk to me, because we've got scholarships available for the right people, which brings your investment to working with me right down. Now, I don't do discounts, I do scholarships for the right people. If you don't meet the criteria, it's not a problem, you can still work with me, it's still a freaking great deal anyway. I just like to reward people who've got the right criteria, because I know they're going to be a freaking banging case study for me, and I want to plaster that all over the internet. Why? Because I want more people to know what I do. So I am shamelessly bribing you right now. You smash it out the park with my sales training, and I promise you that I will give you the best freaking scholarship you've ever seen, which brings your investment to work with me right down just so I can use you as a case study. After that, it's going to go back up. So if you're one of the lucky few watching this video right now where I'm still advertising this scholarship, comment sales down below or click on the link in the description. Apply to work with me on the Invisible Sales Academy. And I promise you, over the next 12 weeks, we're going to transform everything about your personal mindset around selling, how you speak to people without using scripts or notes, and ultimately how you position your pitch to influence people on a deep neurological, psychological level. So comment sales down below or click on a link in the description and let's get talking. And until then, if you haven't done already, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because you probably noticed I'm trying to grow this channel right now and get sales out there to more people. I want to make sales great again. You know why? Because salespeople change lives. And I know you're changing lives right now. And maybe right now you're just having a rough time and you want to get better. I got your back. I'm still a nurse. I'm always going to care for you. So comment sales down below or hit the link in the description and I'll see you on the other side.